The uranium gun weapon, or little boy bomb, was detonated over Hiroshima at an altitude of 1,800 feet, the height to achieve maximum blast effect. 3 days later, the Fat Man implosion bomb was detonated over Nagasaki. In Hiroshima, 70,000 people were killed or listed as missing. Of its 90,000 buildings, over 60,000 were demolished. The implosion bomb, dropped on Nagasaki, took the lives of 42,000 people and injured 40,000 more. It destroyed 39% of all the buildings in the city. With a yield of 20 kilotons, similar to that of Trinity, this weapon would be considered a nominal atomic bomb and provide a blueprint for all future nuclear weapons.
But the principal targets are naval ships. We are seeking primarily to learn what types of ships, tactical formations, and strategic dispositions of our own naval forces will best survive attack by atomic weapons should we ever have to face them.
"11 months after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Operation Crossroads was conducted at Bikini Atoll, 2,500 miles west of Hawaii. The purpose of Crossroads was to test the effects of atomic weapons using two devices, similar in design to Trinity and Nagasaki, codenamed Able and Baker. Shot Able was to be dropped from a B-29, while Shot Baker would be detonated 90 feet below the surface of the water. The target armada consisted of 185 Japanese, German, and American ships, ranging from small amphibious craft to battleships and aircraft carriers.
The bomb will not start a chain reaction in the water, converting it all to gas and letting all the ships on all the oceans drop down to the bottom. It will not blow out the bottom of the sea and let all the water run down the hole. It will not destroy gravity. I am not an atomic playboy, as one of my critics labeled me, exploding these bombs to satisfy my personal whim.
Animals, plant life, even biological warfare agents were assembled to study the effects of heat, blast, and radiation. The bomb missed its intended target by nearly 800 yards. The blast sent 5 ships, including 2 destroyers, to the bottom of Bikini Lagoon. All ships within a half a mile of the blast were heavily damaged. but damage was nowhere near that created by the following underwater blast known as Shot Baker.
Bikini Baker was an underwater burst of the same device, and it produced much more damage to the armada of 70 ships. For instance, the USS Saratoga had the bottom of it essentially knocked out of it from the underwater burst, and the Saratoga sank and sets upright in the bottom of the Bikini Lagoon at the present time. I've often flown over Bikini Lagoon, and on clear days when the water is quiet, you can still see the Saratoga setting there.
The area surrounding Shot Baker had become seriously radioactive and could not be safely approached for some time. This effect was not anticipated and ultimately led to a decision by President Truman to call off a third deep underwater test, codenamed Charlie.
This is the mile-high city of Los Alamos, the atomic city. This is a modern pueblo created by the people of the United States as a research and development center for atomic weapons. Since Eniwetok is a distant and primitive area, men have to leave their stateside laboratories and homes for a period running into months. Since 1943, when Los Alamos was established, men from this mesa have left the continental limits of the United States to test the weapons they have created.
2 years after Crossroads, authority was given by President Truman to proceed with Operation Sandstone. While the purpose of Crossroads had been to test the effects of atomic weapons, Sandstone's objective was to test new weapon designs. Planning for such weapons had begun many years earlier, when the scientists on Trinity had developed other experimental designs for atomic weapons, but were unsure of their success. A joint task force was created to head out once again to the Pacific and procure the islands of Eniwetok, some 200 miles west of Bikini, where Crossroads had been staged. In early November, the first construction crews arrived to strip the islands of vegetation, grade the land, and lay down tar and asphalt for roads. Within 6 months, construction crews erected temporary housing for the many scientists and military personnel required for Sandstone. Perched atop 200-foot steel towers, the 3 devices utilized on Sandstone employed new technology to double the explosive force of the bomb, using the same amount of plutonium spent over Nagasaki. This technology met Department of Defense requirements for more efficient bombs and increased the ability to stockpile nuclear weapons.